Thank you for visiting Pastor Dale's channel. Pastor Dale is continuing his series titled Praying from a Position of Power. This week, his study is designed to help you pray with boldness and authority like Jesus, leaning on God's covenant and his promises. After the message, we encourage you to visit our website, daleeverett.org. Here you will find Pastor Dale's speaking schedule. You can sign up for the monthly newsletter, and you can give into the ministry. Your donations help us carry the gospel around the world each week. Thank you for your continued support, and we hope you enjoy this week's message.
All right, here we go. I'm talking about praying from a position of power. Praying from a position of power is praying from a position of praise. It's praying from a position of praise. Don't go in whining. Go in praising. Did you hear that? Don't go in whining. Go in praising. Jesus taught that prayer begins by declaring the wonder and the honor of his name. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 and 10, in this manner, therefore, pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You speak of the name of the Lord. You honor the name of the Lord. You remember the names of God when you pray, because the names of God gives us insights, revelation to the very nature and the character of God. So I don't start praying the name of my problem. I start praying the name of my God. Yes. I declare who he is and I recognize him. I speak of his name in that very moment. And then he says, your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Amen. Praise is essential. Praise always goes forth first in the battle. And in Judges 20 and verse 18, the children of Israel arose and went to the house of the Lord to inquire of God. And they said, which of us shall go first in battle against the children of Benjamin? Watch this. And God said, Judah first. Judah means praise. He said, this is how you start this thing. You start with praise. In 2 Chronicles 20 and verse 21 and 22, you have another situation where again, the people of Israel are calling on God. What's the strategy? What do I do to deal with the enemy that is coming against me? And it says, and when he had consulted with the people, he appointed those who would sing to the Lord, who should praise the beauty of his holiness. And they went out before the army and were saying, praise the Lord, for his mercy endures forever. Now listen to this. Listen to this. It says, now when they began to sing and to praise, the Lord set ambushes against the people of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, who had come out against Judah, and they were defeated. When they began to sing and praise, what happened? He stepped into gear with his guys, come on, and took care of the situation. I'm praying from a position of power is praying from a position of praise. I'm going to tell you, praying from a position of power, here's the fourth one, is praying from a history of victory. I'm going to challenge you to put yourself in a place where God can bring victories in your life. Some of you live in such a secluded place of fear. You're afraid to trust the Lord for anything. And the only testimony you have is life is hard. Where we need to have moments where we have given ourselves over to him, where we have seen his might and power come into our setting, where we not only have a theology, but we have a testimony of the greatness of God. Psalms 105, verses 1 through 5 says this, oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name. Now he tells you how. Make his deeds, make known his deeds among the people. Sing, look at it again, sing to him, sing psalms to him, talk of all his wondrous works, glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those rejoice who seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his face forevermore. Remember his marvelous works, which he has done. I'm telling you, when you pray, sometimes you need to go into the place of prayer, and here's what you want to do. You just want to rehearse to the Lord. You want to stand before him and say, I remember this. And the scriptures are full of that. The prophets of old would call the people of God. Remember the goodness of God. Remember when he delivered you from Israel. Remember when he parted the Red Sea. Remember when he worked those miracles. You need to go in. If you want to pray from a position of power, quit going in and telling God how bad everything is. Start telling God what he has done. Stand before him and rejoice in the faithfulness and the goodness of the Lord your God. I keep reminders with me all the time. On my phone, I have pictures of the great things that I have seen the Lord do. Like this is one of them. You see this thing that I've got right here. I was in Austin, Texas, when the parents brought a little boy into the service whose legs were crippled. And I remember that this was back when I was laying hands on people, and I came to this little child sitting between his mother and dad, and they told me about the condition of his legs and how he could not walk. And as I prayed with them, the power of God came, and the little child, only about 5 years old at the time, looked up at his mom and dad, said, well, if Jesus healed me, I guess I don't need these braces anymore. The whole house just was quiet. Everybody was tense. I don't give medical advice, so I just watched it played out, you know. Dad didn't know what to say, so he stayed completely silent. Mom said, well, and she didn't want to talk unbelief, but she kind of hedged and said, well, I guess if he healed you, you wouldn't need him. The kid just began to pull the braces off right there. And then jumped right off that front row seat and hit the floor. And when he did, he hit the floor running. And he ran back and forth in front of that church in Austin. And the whole house is up and shouting right now. But what I remember is the mom was shouting louder than them all, and you had to really get it up there to do it. And she kept saying, you don't understand. You don't understand. She kept saying, his heels can't touch the ground. The Achilles tendons are so pulled up that all he can do is stand on his toes. And he's walking heel to toe like anyone normal would be able to walk. And I keep that on my phone. And in the days of challenge, in the days of hard moments, I pull that picture up and I say, I remember your goodness. And I've got many others as well. You need to have moments in which you recount, you pray from a history of the power of God. And then I conclude with this last one. If you're going to pray from a position of power, now here's what I've said. First, pray his covenant promises. Pray with a visionary, clear perspective of the kingdom of the Spirit. Pray from a position of praise. Pray from a history of victories past.
Hey, thanks again for watching this week's video. We want to encourage you to go to daleeverett.org. Here you're going to be able to find Dale Everett's speaking schedule. You'll find a place where you can sign up for his monthly newsletter, and there's going to be a place for you to donate. Your donations help us continue to carry the gospel around the world on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for connecting with us.